This time, on behalf of all the participants, we want to express our appreciation and we want to honor, our Commissioner and Secretary School Education and SCRT and also the senior officers. We have a Joint Secretary and PS that we have given you. Our State Mission Director will be here in the introductory session. She will be joining us in the later part of the session very soon. So this time,
on behalf of our State Mission Director, Samagra Shiksha, I welcome you all, and I also take this opportunity to deliver the keynote address for today's one-day training for the State Educational Achievement Survey 2023. The State Educational Achievement Survey 2023, organized by Prog and CRT, will be conducted on the 3rd of November 2023 across the country to assess the learning levels of children in grades 3, 6 and 9. As a run-up to this survey, NCRT conducted a training program for all the states in the month of August at Port Blair in Andaman and Nicobar Island, for which our state officials from SCRT, NBSC and Samagra Shiksha were deputed. It may be mentioned that the SCAS was conducted earlier in 2014, but follow-up was not given much importance. So this time, through the State Educational Achievement Survey 2023, we hope that the states will be able to take it further through proper follow-up action. As notified through the various official communications passed on to you, the survey will cover 1,643 schools of all categories, government, private as well as central, from which 36,833 students will be administered the test. A total of 112 district and block level coordinators have been assigned and 1,810 field investigators identified who will help in administering the test to the students. The need for an independent, holistic, competency-based assessment at all stages of the school education system is advocated in the NEP 2020. Class 3 at the end of the foundational stage, Class 6 at the end of the preparatory stage, Class 9 at the end of the middle stage or the elementary stage as we call it. We are all familiar with the National Achievement Survey, NAS, and the Foundational Learning Studies, FLS, conducted in the past, which will continue as a regular exercise. Assessments and surveys done by the state may often project biased reports, which could be counterproductive to the objectives of the survey. Therefore, third-party assessments such as the SCAS help us obtain the actual state of the learning levels of our students, provided the survey is conducted meaningfully and accurately as far as possible. The reports from such surveys will give impetus to plan and implement the right kind of interventions needed by our children, as well as for developing specific pedagogical areas to capacitate our teachers. The findings of this report will also reflect the status of the learning levels of our states at the national level. The sister departments of the school education, namely the SCRT, the DIETS, NBSC, Department of School Education, and Samagra Shiksha need to work in close proximity in terms of planning, research, implementation, monitoring, and providing academic support to both students as well as teachers.
We have had the maths, we have had the foundational literacy numeracy survey in the past. And we have all been involved in these exercises. But this time, the State Education Assessment Survey, we have to remember that it is going to be the diagnosis of the health of our school education system. As already shared, this survey is going to cover 1,643 schools, out of which 805 will be government schools, 800 will be private schools, and 38 will be central schools. And it is going to be conducted on 3rd November along with the rest of the country. And as already shared, the survey will assess the learning levels of students of class 3, 6, and 9 in these sample schools. Earlier in the past, the NAS was conducted for children in class 3, 5, and 10. But this time it's going to be for children in class 3, 6, and 9. And the percentage of the schools covered is 60% of the schools in our state. 1643 is 60% of the total number of schools in our state. And the number of children covered will be about 39% of children in class 3, 6, and 9. And therefore, the sample size is also bigger and will be much more representative of the status of our school education health in our state. And we have to remember that this is going to impact our performance grading index. The performance grading index of the school education system has got various parameters, more around 80 parameters. And this NAS exercise, the outcome of the NAS exercise, the ACS exercise, the indicators, the outcomes will be indicators in the PGI. But at the same time, what I want to emphasize is the importance of our role as trainers who will train the field investigators and the importance of conduct of this exercise. Many a times we conduct our surveys without actually understanding the impact of these exercises on the policy matters for the educators. So the outcome of our survey, this time is going to indicate the health of our education system. It will be a diagnosis of whether the learning transaction which takes place in the schools is having the desired outcome or not. And it will be the basis, the data, the information for policy makers as well as educators to take further course of action. Therefore, as the master trainers for our field investigators, we have to emphasize on the role of our field investigators on making the schools, the children understand why this is being conducted. Across the country, this survey will be conducted in 22 languages. But in our state, since English is the medium of instruction, the survey will be conducted in English. But at times, we also have to tell our investigators that if at all there are some communication issues, then we have to make it known to them that the children should understand the concept before answering. Well, this program is going to be a coordinated program.